Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the review of WWE's NXT from March 16th, 2016. Good old Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. I will admit that I did miss last week's NXT. I told everyone that I was going to get really back into NXT ever since getting the Apple TV and putting it in this room. I don't remember what my excuse was for not watching it last week, but honestly, I heard reviews on a few different podcasts about the Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn match. It wasn't that people thought it wasn't good; it was that people just thought it was really long, and there was long points of the match that was pointless. I think that's what sort of scared me off from watching it. I'll say that WWE did one hell of a review of basically summing up a best ofs Vignette to start off the show. And honestly, even that was kind of long. Samoa Joe is the new number one contender. He tapped out Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will be going to NXT takeover in Dallas, while Samoa Joe is getting a shot at Finn Balor's NXT Championship in the main event. The show opened up with Sami Zayn coming down to the ring and putting over Samoa Joe, basically saying that he lost the match. Basically he went to war with Samoa Joe, but he wasn't able to pull out the victory, and that doesn't make him any less of a wrestler or anything like that. It just, Samoa Joe was at a better place to be at. I've always sort of, I haven't been negative, but I've been cautious about, at SummerSlam, they had Kevin Owens. He had a match against Cesaro at SummerSlam already booked, and leading up to it, NXT decided they were going to put Kevin Owens in the main event against Finn Balor, and I honestly thought that was a little bit risky to have him doing double duty. Sami Zayn, who is moving up to the main roster, we just recently saw him on the WWE Network special Roadblock, had a match against Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn is going to be in a match with Kevin Owens. More than likely, it's going to have a few competitors in there with him. I don't know if it's going to be a ladder match. I don't know if it's going to be just a scramble match or a multi-person match or anything like that. But Sami Zayn is going to be doing double duty because he was greeted by none other than William Regal, who came out there on the stage and basically said that Sami Zayn is the face of NXT, and that basically, he's going to be facing the newest signee to NXT, and that is Shinsuke Nakamura, who came up on the screen with a promo. Basically, it looked like it was filmed on an iPhone, and they didn't even bother to turn the phone sideways. They shot it vertical with the black bars coming down the side. He was facing the wall, but you really could tell who it was if you watched any of his matches in NXT. In New Japan. He turned around, he delivered a promo. I don't know if it's because of the way he speaks or the crowd was too loud. You couldn't really understand anything that he said. That just was me. So we get down to Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn being added to the NXT TakeOver Dallas show, which already looks spectacular as it is. From there, we go to the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. They got a win in a, I guess the nicest way to say it is a jobber match. Two taller black guys. I didn't really see anything out of these guys. I don't know if these are local enhancement talent guys that are brought up from the indies there, or if they're actually people that are signed that are in the lower parts of the performance center that were just used to do a job, but it was what it was. From there, we went and saw a match between Emma and I thought that was Peyton Royce. It says her name is Deonna Purrazzo. I guess it's not even who I thought it was. I don't know who this girl is. I thought it was Peyton Royce, but Emma beat her, and there was really nothing much in that match at all. Tommaso Ciampa came out. He had a match against none other than Jesse Sorensen, formerly of TNA. Nothing was really big out of this match. Tommaso Ciampa got the win. From there, we went to a tag team match of Asuka and Bayley having a match against Eva and Nia Jax. Basically, they were able to finally get a win and sort of end this feud with Eva and Nia Jax. Once it was over, Regal came out on the stage again and basically said that these two women had basically set the stage for the women's division in NXT. and basically he was placing them in a match for the Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Dallas. So we've added another big match. Asuka versus Bayley, possibly the two best girls that are in NXT. They're not going with the babyface versus the heel. They're just going to go with the straight, really good match. From there, we went to a backstage promo of Austin Aries, where it was supposed to look like I think he was sitting at home, and basically said that he had offers from all around the wrestling business, but the one place he wanted to go was NXT, because everywhere that he had wrestled, he had become a champion, and he wants to become a champion in NXT. He didn't like the way that he was jumped from behind by Baron Corbin. So basically, I don't know if the challenge is being answered or if the challenge was being made. You can tell that they're doing Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries at NXT TakeOver. And I will say that Austin Aries, his arms looked freaking huge in this promo. I don't know that I've ever looked at Austin Aries' arms and just seen like how gigantic they are. But he looks big and he looks bad. And there we go to the main event of the night, which is Ready, Willing, and Gable, American Alpha, with Jason Jordan and Gable going up against the Vaudevillains. The winner of this would get a shot for the NXT titles at NXT TakeOver Dallas against the Revival, aka the Mechanics, aka Dash and Dawson. This was a great match. American Alpha, I don't want to say that this was a job match, because basically there was a lot of work that the Vaudevillains got in there, but basically any highlight that would have came out of this, honestly, would have been from Jordan and Gable. They wrestled this match at 100% octane. They were flying around. The move of the night, honestly, in my opinion, I called it a rolling thunder. I don't think that's really what it was, but basically, Gable, did this sort of German suplex wheelie around out of the corner, and I don't know really what it was. I know it's more than a German suplex, but it was fucking beautiful. And I know it takes two to party. So basically, the member of the Vaudevillains, which would be the guy who's not Simon Gotch, took one of the most beautiful spots that I've ever seen in wrestling. And Jordan and Gable ended up getting the win with their finisher. And they move on, and now they're going to get a shot at NXT TakeOver. So I don't think that Dash and Dawson are moving up to the main roster. I think if anybody's getting moved up from NXT, it would be Enzo and Kaz. But I do think that it's time for American Alpha to win those titles, man. They are so fucking good. There was so many suplexes in this match that it looked like these guys were joining Team Brock. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than Suplex City. This was a fun episode of NXT. There definitely was, you can tell from the review, 3 matches on the show that really didn't mean anything at all. But the beginning part with Nakamura's debut, as well as American Alpha getting the win to become the #1 contenders for NXT TakeOver Dallas. There was a lot of matches made for NXT TakeOver Dallas as well. So I thought this was a pretty productive episode of NXT, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out.